You came here because you want to be magnetic, and I'm going to show you how. But first, I need to warn you something that if you follow what I'm about to share, something unexpected might happen. You might become so whole, so within yourself, so complete, so full that one day when you wake up, you realize you no longer care about being magnetic at all. And that day, my friend, that will be the most magnetic you have ever been. Still want to continue? I want you to think about Princess Diana for a moment. Not her crown, not the title, not the fairy tale, just her. Here was a woman who, by every external measure, had everything, and yet she's spoken openly about her struggles, about her pain, her feelings of never being enough. She was not perfect. She's not performing strength. She was just painfully, beautifully a human, and the entire world could not look away. Millions of people who had never met her wept when she died, not because she was of royal, not because she was beautiful, but because of how she made people feel. She listened like you were the only one in the room. She owned her flaws without shame, and her kindness, you could feel it had no agenda behind it. She never tried to be magnetic. She was just real. I've been studying psychology for years, and I have been on my own journey of figuring out what it truly means to be a woman in her power. And what I keep coming back to is what science and spirituality and lived experience all point out to, is that magnetism was never about having it all together. It is all about you coming home to yourself. And I know what you might be thinking, that this sounds pretty, this sounds beautiful, but what does that actually mean? So let me show you, not just philosophically, but scientifically, what is actually happening in your body and in the bodies around you when true magnetism occurs. So your nervous system is constantly broadcasting a signal every moment, even without you saying a word. Scientists call this neuroception. This was introduced by Dr. Stephen Porges in his polyvagal theory. So your nervous system is unconsciously scanning every person you meet, and you're asking, are you safe? Are you whole? Are you regulated? And it does this, believe it or not, in milliseconds, even before words is spoken. Here is what most people don't realize, that biologically, needing is a state of scarcity, and scarcity is a survival state. It's your nervous system saying that I do not have enough, I am not enough, I need something from the room to feel complete. And when you need to be seen, when you need the room to validate you, your nervous system is in the state of high alert. Okay, your cortisol rises, your breath becomes shallow, you project a frequency of chasing. And just like you can sense when someone is desperate, when someone needs something from you, even before they have spoken, people feel that in you too, not consciously, but their body feels it. Scarcity repels, it distances people away from you, not because people are unkind, but because a dysregulated nervous system makes them feel uneasy. So they kind of step away. But when you're full, when you come from abundance, when you need nothing from the room, your nervous system broadcasts something completely different. It says, I am safe, I'm whole, I'm home within myself. Now, the psychology part, there is a concept called self-wholeness. You are psychologically complete within yourself, not outsourcing your worth from someone else or even other people's opinion, okay? And the opposite of this is anxious attachment energy, and it shows up quietly. Checking your phone after you're posting, replaying conversations, performing a version of yourself where you think people are going to like you. Sometimes it looks like you have something interesting to say. Sometimes it also looks like you not being able to say no because you know that you will be more liked if you say yes. And the shift happens not when you change what you do, but when you change what you need. When you become psychologically whole, you stop performing for the room. You stop adjusting yourself to be received well. You start simply being. And this is the rarest thing in the world, and people are drawn to this. But I just want to be honest with you. This is not something you think your way into. You cannot read enough books or listen to enough podcasts and suddenly arrive at wholeness. It is built slowly through intentions, through the way you move through your energy in what you choose to give to other people and what you choose to keep to yourself. So how do we get there? I'm going to be sharing with you 5 habits that is going to shift you from performance to present. So the first habit is you embrace a decision gap. Stop reacting instantly when someone asks you something. Pause for a while. When the room gets quiet, let it. When you don't rush to fill in the silence, you signal something really powerful, that you own your time, that you are not anxious, that you are enough even in the stillness. So the second practice is physical openness. A soft body tells the world that you are not in a rush. So the next time you go out, relax your jaws, soften your gaze, and walk like you're not trying to arrive anywhere. We have to remember that our body is always speaking before our mouth does. The third habit is keep something for yourself, not to be mysterious, not to play games, but because a woman who has depth and who has the rich inner world, who does not give everything away, makes people lean in. Okay, this is beautiful. They sense that there is something they haven't reached yet, so they're like, okay, I want to know more. And you just don't give it to them, not because you're withholding. Remember, this is not a game, but because some things are simply meant to be kept to yourself. And the fourth, and perhaps the simplest one of all, is to listen, not to respond, not to relate, not to kind of wait for your turn to speak, but just to genuinely receive what someone is sharing with you out of curiosity. Like the person in front of you might have something valuable to teach you. Now I want to talk about something that nobody's honest about. We live in a world where people feel pressured to be interesting, okay? To have something captivating to say, to keep people engaged, to never kind of be boring. So what do we lean into? Sometimes we gossip, right? To fill in those gaps. And for a moment, you will have that people widening their eyes, like they will really lean in. It will be really interesting. But we have to understand that gossip will get you attention only for a few moments, and it will make you feel magnetic. But here is what's happening. Gossip is a scarcity in disguise. It is a woman who does not trust that she's enough on her own, so she borrows other people's stories to keep you in the room. And people feel that, not consciously, but something kind of shifts. They enjoy the conversation, but they stop trusting you with real things and real trust. And that is where magnetism is, when someone really actually trusts you. The woman who never gossips does something super real. She sits with you, she listens, she gives you nothing sensational. But what is sensational about her is she's giving you full presence, her genuine curiosity, and her quiet. And you walk away feeling what? Safe, seen, and understood, and also heard. And here's what I love about the last habit: it requires the least effort of everything I have shared today. You do not have to perform, you do not even have to be interesting, you do not have to prepare anything beforehand. You just have to stop, and you just have to be present. In a world where everyone is waiting for their turn to speak, if you actually listen, you will become the most memorable person in the room, because people never forget how it feels to truly be heard. So this is the last section, but here is where I need to give you the warning that I promised you in the introduction. When you master this, when you stop needing and start simply being, the world will respond, okay? People will be drawn to you just to catch your calm, just to catch your breath of calm. They will be plugged in into your energy and to recharge their own. Basically, you will become their safe harbor. And what I'm about to say is that it can be draining, because here is what nobody tells you about being magnetic. The more whole you become, the more people will want to consume that wholeness. And if you're not protected, if you do not have fierce boundaries around your energy, you will find yourself giving and giving, and then you will have nothing to give to yourself, or you will feel really depleted, tired, and drained. And here is the final truth, the one that I want you to hold on to, is that once you arrive here, after all that inner work, your nervous system is going to be calm. And once you moving with total ease and you stop performing and you just start being, you'll realize something that will make you laugh quietly to yourself. You'll realize something, that you never needed to be magnetic to begin with. And you were always very worthy of everything you were chasing. The magnetism was never something that you had to become. It was always just about coming home to yourself. And your home is not a place, not a person, not how people make you feel. Your home is you. We have to remind ourselves constantly to stop chasing the pull. Start sourcing your own peace, because when you stop needing to be seen, that is when you become impossible to ignore. Anyways, I really hope this video brought you some value, and I will see you in my next one.